what just happened when it comes to the internet computer? Well, just last night, the internet computer actually survived an attack. I'm not joking. That's even according to the founder of Dfinity himself, which is Dominic Williams. I'll discuss the impact of this for the internet computer, and I'll give my reaction in today's video, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, and this is just my personal perspective, and nothing I say is financial advice. So if we take a look at it, the internet computer survived that attack, right? So that means some bad actors try to do something bad to this, and it didn't work. Now, to be a little bit more specific, actually, bad actors tried to push a lot of invalid code onto the internet computer last night, but clearly, again, it didn't work, and the network, it stayed up. Now, I think, if anything, this is arguably a good marketing thing for the internet computer. Now, people like to say, well, how does that make sense? It just survived like an attack. Like, how is that a good thing? Now, it's not a good thing that that happened, but at the same time, it's a good thing that it survived and it was able to kind of withstand that attack. And not to mention, this is a marketing thing, especially for enterprises, because if an enterprise were to take a look at this and they're like, oh, wow, the internet computer was able to survive that? Like, that's going to be a telltale sign to them that security, or should I say the security is there, right? It showcases that one of the fundamental qualities of it is having good security, which I don't think is a bad thing. You know, it's like, let's say, for instance, someone buys a phone and they buy like a case for the phone, and let's say the phone gets accidentally dropped on the floor, but let's say because the case is there, the phone survived, nothing happened to the screen. Isn't that actually a good sign, right? And if anything, imagine if it happened just like live on TV like that, on a live stream or something, and that happened, that's actually indirectly good marketing for that phone case, because it showcases that it did its intended duty, which was to protect the phone. Now, that's a pure analogy, but that's just kind of the way to take a look at it here. So that means the safeguards and the security features of the internet computer was able to allow for it to survive a attempted bad move, I should say, right? Now, keep in mind, people like to say, well, what is Dfinity going to do about this? Are they just going to chill? Well, from what I can see as of right now, they're kind of showing off a little bit. Like, for instance, you know, Dominic Williams is very happy, of course, that the internet computer did survive this. You know, he's showing off a little bit, which I don't mind, though. I mean, I don't blame him, because, you know, if literally he's the founder of Dfinity and the internet computer was able to have good security, and it's kind of proven that not that long ago in real time, because it did survive an attack, allegedly, you know, I think that is quite impressive. Now, Pierre, right, who is the chief business officer of Dfinity, I've talked about Pierre a couple times before, but he's making another appearance in this video, right, in terms of the topic. But besides that, Pierre says, nice try. And he says that they will find them, basically. So he's saying that he's going to try to find who tried to do this. Now, will he succeed, though? I have no idea. What does he even mean by that? You know, I mean, who knows what he's going to try to do? But, you know, below that, he put like a clip of Keanu Reeves just dodging or blocking someone's slaps or whatever. But yeah, besides that point, when I take a look at, in the case of Dfinity, I like how they're treating this type of stuff quite seriously. And I like how the internet computer was actually able to withstand something like this. Not a lot of other projects out there could handle that, right? Some other projects out there, you know, sometimes they just don't handle this type of stuff too well. Now, I've heard some kind of theories, you know, floating around as to why this has happened lately. And some people, right, this is not according to me, but I've heard some people say it's because arguably they might have another competitor, or let's say someone who's not too happy with what's going on when it comes to the internet computer. Maybe they tried, I mean, I don't know. But when I hear that kind of argument, I could see why they might think that way. And it's because if we take a look at it, Dfinity, there's already Caffeine AI version 3, there's already OIC version 2.5, and then, you know, they're looking to launch cloud engines, you know, the open software as a service suite, right? They're looking to launch multi-dex soon. So the timing is a little bit somewhat coincidental. Why is it happening right now, right? So coincidentally, when Dfinity is planning to do a lot of things. Again, that's very questionable. So I get why some people out there may think, oh, could this be a competitor? I mean, I don't know. I have no way to confirm that, but I'm just saying the timing is a little bit somewhat coincidental, but who knows, right? I mean, we'll see. If Pierre were to be able to find who tried to do that to the project, then we'll know. But that's assuming that he actually is able to. We don't really know if he could at this point, but you know what? We'll wait and see. But nonetheless, I think that's not even the main highlight of this. The main highlight of this is that the internet computer was able to survive. It didn't disrupt the network in any sort of way, it seems like. So I think it's a big thumbs up for me, and it showcases that, you know, they're actually doing their job, right? Because some people out there seem to think that Dfinity is being lazy, but, you know, doesn't seem like they are. And also on top of that, this indirectly showcases to enterprises, potential partners, and also other projects out there that might be considering to collaborate with this. Again, this is an indication to them, right? That, hey, you know what? Dfinity is actually focused on security. At least that's the way I view it. So yeah, I get it. I mean, the internet computer is still below $3, but that's not really the main point, right? The main point is to showcase that the internet computer was able to do this. And now, being below $3 isn't necessarily so negative for me anyways, just because it is over 3 times away than $9, and $9 was achieved just back in November of last year. So it's not such a monumental task by any means. And this is almost 10 times away than approximately $20, and we saw around $20 back in 2024. So the internet computer has reached moments in which it was far higher than right now, and it achieved it quite casually. That's the way you take a look at it. So it's not such a tough task, I think, for the internet computer, arguably speaking, at least historically. So if the internet computer either goes back to $9 or $20, I have nothing to complain about. That's just my reaction, right? That's just my mindset, I should say. However, nonetheless, seeing how the internet computer was able to survive, right, and withstand such a spontaneous and somewhat unexpected occurrence like that just last night, I think it showcases that, you know what? The internet computer, it seems like it's ready at all times to kind of defend against this type of stuff. And again, historically, the internet computer isn't really known for its security. Like when I talk about the internet computer, the first thought that comes to mind isn't, oh wow, it has good security. That's not really what people usually think about when they think about this, at least according to a lot of people that I've asked in the past, right? So I think a moment like this can kind of shift the narrative a little bit when it comes to the internet computer, because some of their projects out there, when they launch something or when they do something, and if that becomes successful, then they kind of become known for that. So when it comes to the internet computer, arguably through something like this, it could now be better known for its security. It's like, for instance, let's say we go to a restaurant, we have no idea they sell a cheeseburger, and randomly one day we try the cheeseburger. It's like, oh wow, it's so good, right? And then suddenly the restaurant becomes known for that. That's kind of the analogy that I have here. The internet computer previously wasn't really known for the security, at least according to a lot of people I've asked. But now it seems like that is starting to become a narrative. So I do like that. I like it when new narratives do form. And I think the more and more narratives that do form when it comes to this, the better it is. Because this is an added narrative that it didn't really have back in 2024 or 2025. Yet in 2024, it was at around $20. And in 2025, just back in November, it was at around $9. So the internet computer, yes, it's way lower than before, but it's at least a couple times better, in my opinion, in terms of its fundamentals. So if it goes back to $9 or $20, I guess it wouldn't surprise me, but that's an only time will tell type of scenario. However, I'll be sure to make more updates when it comes to this. I'm still waiting and I'm still holding, but nonetheless, seeing that recent update, I thought it was quite impressive. But yeah, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you all in the next one. It's been Lee the Captain.